Now I need to make some conditioning remarks, qualifying remarks, limiting things. You know, it's not all master race. Obviously, it is obviously still the case that the higher type is well, an accident. It's just that it occurs more. It occurs systematically. It's like a systematically caused accident. It's still the case that many people are wretched. Whoa, there's somebody in the bus. I'm scared us. But it's so weird that people. What the hell would people be thinking? I just think of one other mad guy. Anyway, the point was, I was sort of making this metaphorical reference to the back of the bus. Whatever. Yeah. The point is that this is striking. Let me try this anew. Oh, okay, fine. The thing is, yes. So it's still an exception. You know, the higher type is still an exception, and it's still not extremely high, and it's still perhaps lower than the higher types that the European race produces now and then, because that's just been created over a much longer time and has incorporated so much more lofty influences. But it's the only type that's being built from the ground up at this point on a global scale. And it's the second conditioning remark I want to make is that it is all obviously part of capitalism. So that is a very, very big conditioning remark. Because yeah, but you know, that brings across the point that, like, let's put it this way: if we want this to be a higher type, then capitalism must be changed to something higher. But it, like, capable comes in here. Was invented the term existential capitalism. I think it's still for all of us, it's still a process of. But it cannot be denied the basic premise that capitalism has proven time and time again that it will incorporate everything that resists it. Everything that's created as an antithesis to it becomes a function of it. So basically we cannot resist it. We can only cure it, basically, of its. I also have the feeling it's like a giant, plowing machine running amok without a driver. And obviously capitalism is about values, is about value exchange. And the basic law of value, the existential cosmic law of value, is that by the spontaneous exchange of value through self-valuings, it increases. That is why trade exists. So this is, in a sense, capitalism extremely lofty in its principle. But the question is, of course, what increases, and at the cost of what, and what kind of increase. Basically, my idea is that a big problem is that a lot of increase is being engineered at the cost of a much greater loss. It should be, philosophically, it's very simple to put some sensible limits on capitalism. Just to make some rules that cause it to be not insane, but simply, let's say, a sane frenzy, because it's always going to be violent and impulsive and chaotic and spontaneous and everything. But it could. There's a couple of methods that rule capitalism, the capital market now, and that's one of the things. The capital market itself is an error. It should always be, the capital should be the result of the market of goods and of basically existent things and not of prospects. And this is a very, very, very difficult thing to accomplish, because the amount of wealth you can accumulate by speculating, which is called nano banking in the end. We see how vast the differences that this can create is, and I don't think this is viable in the long run. I think that the mistake is all the idiots who are against capitalism, who are protesting against capitalism, and these morons who post on Facebook stuff like, the poorest president in the world shows us or tells us why rich people should be kicked out of politics. That is now seriously a trending post on Facebook. These people are pure slaves and deserve nothing but enslavement, in my eyes. People who, I would say think like that, but that is not thinking. And you cannot be in control of yourself, of your destiny, if you're not thinking. If you're that ignorant of causes and consequences of human realities. So basically we need, the thing would be to create a pro-capitalist opposition to the capital market. It's not an opposition. All opposition is doomed to fail. Capitalism has a way of making all opposition truly pathetic. So basically the whole thing, the only thing that can ever work is to create a product that modifies the market. Because if there's anything capitalism is enslaved to itself, it's good products. Now, what is a good product? Now, we intend to make philosophy into a product in this sense. I know how that sounds, but I said it a little bit too quickly. That's not literally what we intend. But the thing is to philosophically design a form of politics that conditions productness, okay? But this is the point where the true, calculating task begins, and where this video will end. If my fucking South Korean product will allow this, which is, I guess, not the case. Look at this. Yes, okay. Let's say we have to increase the quality of... Right, it's very simple, actually. Architecture has for the longest time, long-term, architecture in the long term, these things have been forgotten. Yeah, of course. The greatest pre-capitalist products were temples and castles. And now, what we can build now, the immense power we have now compared to the Greeks, and still we're so puny in our designs compared to this. We still imitate, in our highest buildings, we still imitate the Greeks. Still, none of this imitation even comes close to the real thing, even just those few pillars that are left standing. So the word product would be wrong, too low. It must be a shift from production to creation. Okay, well, that is a hell of a task. I don't know how the hell I should explain or how to continue this video, except it doesn't want to end. The screen is not allowing me to end it. I guess there is something more to say. I haven't said anything real yet about this strategy that we're supposedly capable of initiating. But the whole classical world started with temples, and before capitalism came to be in Venice, the money market, the money economy was always circulating around the temples. But what could be a temple now in this time? It should definitely involve music, that is clear now. But more than that, basically, there's this whole continent that is untapped, and it's completely raw. I mean, Africa. Africa is sort of it was where it all began, and it's probably all where the solution lies. The rawness of it allows for an entirely new market, entirely new concept of market. It's not based on, well, not based on product, but on bringing out of the ground something on a grand, almost Babylonian scale. New Babylon. Come on, man, I'm trying to like stop this video in some beautiful, significant, symbolical word. I'm just gonna fucking